What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Stub De Niro, and welcome to a new episode of Big Black and Unsuccessful.
What's happening, people? PD CEO. What's going on with y'all out there, man? You know the world on fire right now? Or is it on fire?
I mean, depends on what world you in.
Word. If you're a racist right now, the world on fire for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Since white supremacy has been offered to the people.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man, how you feel about, everything that's going on?
It's just amazing to see.
Word.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not going to get into specifics on none of that because there's enough of that going on. There's enough of that going on, but it's just amazing to see how certain things are transpiring in the world. It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy.
You here to get into the specifics. What you mean?
No.
I will say I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, I think last week or the week before, and they was talking about how, you know what I'm saying, it was sad that we ain't going to be able to see the end of racism. Like, he was like, it's sad that my children's children will be dealing with this issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing we can really do about it right now.
No, 400 years worth is not going to be eradicated like that, man. It's ingrained. It's ingrained. Some have felt it worse than others. Like everything like all the killings that's going on that kind of set everything off. Man, it's just crazy and wild to see, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's almost like, yeah, now you're getting yours. Because now every little thing. See, the beauty of being on quarantine and being on lockdown and this, that, and the third, nobody could go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So now you had a chance to sit down and be still and watch what's going on in the world on TV.
Right. And you didn't have interactions with other people. So you didn't, without those interactions, you can't create a prejudice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I am white and I go out here and some black dude cut me off,
Mm-hmm.
You nigger, whatever. But if you home and you can't go nowhere,
Right.
there ain't been no black dude to piss you off.
No.
So you get to, you know what I'm saying? You get to deal with all of this stuff firsthand and see all of this stuff firsthand to the point where it's like, damn, they people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas if you dealing with niggas on the regular, I can see it making you not want to deal with black people as a whole,
right,
because you deal with some ignorant people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, the same thing with, black people with dealing with racism. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get online and people be like, why you always talking about racism? Why is everything a racism issue? Why is it always a racism issue? Because we always dealing with that motherfucker. But when you separate and everybody home, and you just got to look at it from a person perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I posted the movie Avatar. I said, these the only blue people I know plus Smurfs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody else put on a uniform. You don't got down because you wear a black uniform say you black.
Right.
Or if you wear a white uniform because you painting, you don't be like, I'm white.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the color and ethnicity that you are. So because of that, you have to deal with being that first. Because you hear a lot of black cops say, oh yeah, if they don't recognize me, I have the same problems.
Yeah.
But then when they're on duty, they don't think like that. A lot of them.
Well, I mean, I guess sometimes, the uniform make them feel good.
I mean, that's crazy. They say one of the dudes who had his knee on the guy's back, he only been working for like 6 days.
I think it was, 6 days, something like that.
And he's the one that looks like he's like, I don't know his ethnicity, but he looks like he's either, black or like a person of color.
Mm-hmm.
Put it that way. So, and they said the guy who had his knee on, what's the man's name? George. Is it George?
Yeah, George.
What's the last name? I don't want to say it wrong. But the young man that was killed, The guy who had his, the police officer who killed him, who had his knee on his neck, he was actually training the guy who had just started. And I said to my wife, well, I said on the post, I said, man, it's amazing how easy it is to teach racism and how easy it is to teach stupidity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you was trying to give somebody some honors or give somebody a code of honor and respect, that shit wouldn't be that easy to teach.
Right.
But stupidity, you can teach that shit with the quickness.
Yeah, you can. But it's amazing that they're flipping on each other because two of them were newer to the force, and now they're claiming that they were following the lead officer who had his knee on the neck.
Well, if it's true,
okay, but that's still, you know what I mean, you can follow orders to the point, but Jesus Christ, you got to have some kind of morals. Come on now. You got to have some sense.
I definitely,
Come on.
I can look at that two different ways, right?
No. If me and you together and I start choking somebody the fuck out, you gonna tell me to stop.
Very true. But here's the thing that I'm saying, and I ain't justifying that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know police code, right?
Right.
So I speak things from a military standpoint.
Right.
Military standpoint, you ain't allowed to have an opinion. Mm-hmm. You ain't allowed to think. If I tell you to do something, that's an order. You're supposed to do it.
Right.
They were saying, like, I don't know if police follow that same code. I don't think so because they not wartime, soldiers. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see that element, not to take guilt away from you, but maybe you didn't commit a murder. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? Because the reason why they gave him third degree is they said that...
Well, it's been upgraded.
Yeah, but they gave him third degree initially because second degree would be hard to prove because of, what is it, that second degree? I think first degree is intent. Mm-hmm. So they would have had to prove that he intentionally did it. Like it was premeditated in his mind, like, I'm going to go ahead and kill this guy. Right. They upgraded it to second degree, which means that they feel they can prove beyond just psychological, which is third degree. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Third degree, from my understanding, is supposed to be like a lapse in judgment that ended up causing a death. Right. Not necessarily intentional, but like a lapse in judgment. Like, mm-hmm. Like if you was trying to warm up your house and it burnt down or something like that. You ain't necessarily went in there and was like, I'm about to burn this bitch up. You know what I'm saying? But just overall, with all of the cases compounding, all of those situations compounding, and us dealing with that for weeks on end, being home, seeing all of these different things. You ran up into people's house, shot them up, mm-hmm. killed the young lady, tried to lock the guy up, talking about he attempted murder on the police, mm-hmm. when really y'all ain't announced yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this man...
but they had a no-knock warrant. They didn't have to announce themselves. Well,
that's the point. If you have a no-knock warrant and you bust in somebody's house and they 2A all day and you get shot, whose fault is that?
Bingo. That's the question.
And when you come into the wrong house.
Luckily, with that episode, both of them weren't killed because the narrative would be totally different. But he survived. I'm
pretty sure they wanted to kill both of them. But because he was armed, he ain't necessarily was going for that shit. I'm pretty sure if they're arresting officers, if the motherfuckers who busted in the door could have got to him, mm-hmm. and wasn't worried about him being armed, they would have killed him.
Mm-hmm. Then nobody would have been able to tell that side. But guess what? He was able to tell that side, and they had to let him go. Literally, they let him go. They did enough to him.
I remember on an episode we talked about, we was talking about racism. I don't want to stay on racism, so that's why I'm going to switch this a little bit. We was talking about if black people wasn't here, who would be their niggas? And I think that even with us being here, they starting to see now what it's like to be treated a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. seeing the old white man get pushed down, they bust his head wide open, kept it moving. Like, fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? I seen a dude, Billy Club, a white lady, a gang of bikers. They was just on their bike. They ain't been no gang. They just been a group of bikers. But he literally slapped the white lady in the face with, you know what I'm saying, his club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen him slam a black girl. Again, that ain't been nothing new, but I seen that.
But every single episode that you just listed, all of them people are in trouble. Either arrested and charged or administrative or whatever. Now it's being seen for what it is.
Word. And
you can't cover it up.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, Keisha down there in Atlanta, what's her name? Lance Bottoms, I believe, the mayor.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she putting them niggas on notice. They dragged them students out their car.
Done.
Hey, y'all fired.
Done. 6-0.
You know what I'm saying? Like with the quickness. And then you know, the guys who pushed down the old man, 2 of them got put on leave without pay.
And charged.
And 57 of the officers in the unit resigned from the unit. Not from the force, but from the unit.
Right.
In protest. And my thing is, y'all fighting so hard to be able to goddamn be racist or to beat on motherfucking black people. Like, y'all fighting so hard to keep that power to be able to kill us with no problems. Mm-hmm. But at some point in time, you got to understand that things going to change. Like, you know, the things done in the dark will come to light. Like, you know what I'm saying? You eventually going to have to atone for everything that you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this, to me, seems a closer time than any other time. But I ain't going to put all my money on black yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say like, oh, this shit going to run. But I'm going to say, if we keep going the way we going, I don't see how it could not.
Right.
You know, people keep talking about when Dr. King got killed and how they rioted in cities and caused like $47 million or something like that worth of damage. And then after that, they signed the bill.
That's right.
Civil
Rights bill.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just looking at these moments and you look at history and how it's doomed to repeat itself. And it's just like, damn, we could really be living in a time where some dope shit like that actually happens, where our children be in a somewhat safer place.
Right. Because
of those laws being changed.
But, man, look here, man. You have to appreciate protesting. But, boy, y'all boys out there looting and shit and breaking shit and shit. That's dumb, man. This boy, facial recognition is real. They gonna catch everybody, but they gonna catch enough, and they gonna make examples out of people.
I seen they got a few people for burning police.
Oh man, them brothers down there. They got the dudes in New York that ran over the cop. They caught their ass in Georgetown. Come on, man.
Come on, man. You can't fix the problem by being a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't. It's one thing.
That's
like,
crazy.
And see, like, I speak from a military mind state of going to war. Going to war is different from being home. Being home, you can't just be out this motherfucker running over police and goddamn shooting and beating up motherfuckers and
come
burning.
On, man. Like, and that's black and white, because the couple of looters downtown was little white girl and the little young girl busting the mall, going, come on, man, y'all don't do that. Don't do that.
I seen niggas running out of Sam's with TVs and
come
shit.
on, man.
White people, black people, I'm like...
And then y'all jackasses didn't even have on a fucking mask.
My thing is, you don't think Sam and Sam Walton them ain't got
cameras? What? Come on,
one,
man.
They got insurance. For one, they gonna goddamn handle you to the full extent of the law.
To the fullest extent.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we talk about Walmart, Sam's Club.
Word.
Come on, man. That's like I'm showing my age. Fucking with them is like writing a bad check to Piggly Wiggly.
Word.
Yeah.
Niggas is going.
You going down.
Hey, they gonna lock your ass up. They gonna lock your ass up. Plain and simple. We don't want to
write a bad check to Piggly Wiggly and see what
you can't even watch the damn TV. You in jail.
Oh,
you know
man.
What I'm saying?
Y'all dudes and girls and gals and niggers is wildin'.
I do like the fact that it's all races and ethnicities of ignorance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the loot.
Man, listen, man. These fuckers is parking their cars with their license tags showing.
Nigga, they rolled up to the front fucking door. Rolled up to the front door. Stop. And goddamn start loading up.
Hey, stop. Hey, man, you going downtown? Nope, I am not going
I'm
nowhere
cool,
near that.
I'm cool.
I'm cool.
Listen,
hey, let me know what happened though.
I put the camera in the car, everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, we gonna go. You know what I'm saying? See what's popping.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Next thing you know, we looting and something. They beat up a police officer downtown. It's like, yeah.
Then they set a Charleston City police car on fire.
I'm gonna sit this one out, man. You know. Just my luck, I'm gonna be like the black dude that owned the restaurant, man. I'm gonna be chilling and minding my motherfucking business.
Get shot.
And just happen to be, you know what I'm saying, wrapped up in that shit. Like I don't got time for that, man. My family need me. I'm there for the protests. I'm there for everything. Peaceful. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? But looting and going crazy and all of that shit, like that's for the young people. And don't get it twisted. I believe that it's a need for civil unrest.
I mean, yes. Yes. And by all means, do what you feel.
Right.
I'm just not participating in it, and I hope any children I've raised wouldn't participate in that. That's
and don't bring that shit to my house.
Period. That's all. But shit, do that. It's needed. I'm bugging because we are literally sitting and living in the midst of history right now.
Word. Living.
All because of a brother, not all because, but it was jump started after a brother from Third Ball, Texas that moved to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right.
And got killed.
Trying to better himself. Trying to
better himself.
You
and
know
got killed by the people that's supposed to protect you.
And the thing about it is, Atlanta this time.
No, that don't matter.
No, let me explain though. His record, worse than a lot of character assassinations they did on other black people that they killed.
Yeah.
But we rally behind this cause. You see what I'm saying? And I think that is a testament to say it ain't matter what the media say. It ain't matter what the president say. Mm-hmm. It ain't matter what nobody say. When that time come, motherfuckers gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. They tried all the same tricks. Mm-hmm. They tried to speak on history. They tried to speak on things he did. They tried to speak on character. They tried to speak on everything. They tried to say he was drunk. He had COVID-19. He was
had meth in his system.
He had meth in his system. Yeah. He was passing a bad check or a bad $20 bill.
Yeah, come on, man.
They say he a criminal and you know the police had to deal with him as a criminal. They tried to say he wouldn't get in the vehicle. Footage came with they beating him up in the vehicle. You know what I'm saying? And pulled him back out of the vehicle. And it's like everything they tried. It was like, nah, but nigga, we not doing this time. Hey, rally up. we ain't doing that this time. We rally up, people. Let's get to work. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nothing they could do to stop it. Because I'm looking at the whole thing, man. Like, I'm the type of person I get caught up in that shit and I kind of got to pull myself away from it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at Fox News. I'm looking at CNN. I'm looking at MSNBC. And I'm just looking at all this shit. And then I'm looking at local news. And I'm just looking at what they trying to do. How they trying to pull the wool over. And then I'm looking at the people. And the people just... they still doing their shit. Yeah. Fuck y'all niggas. Keep it moving. Yeah. We marching. Every day. We on the street. We doing this. We doing that. Niggas stopping the interstate downtown. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit make you proud as a person to see people standing up for other people. Fuck a black, fuck a white, because if it was equality, we wouldn't even be saying black, white. Yeah. If it was equality, like if we had equity and equality, because I found out, you know, the definitions between them, you know, nigga find out the definition, you got to use that shit all the time.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying? But equality is, okay, you can go to school. Equity is, let me prepare you on an educational level to be on the same level as everybody else who going to school with you.
That's right.
So instead of saying, here's reparations. Go buy Cadillacs and big screen TVs and all kind of shit and lose all of that shit in the next 3 years. Mm-hmm. Equity is, in order for you to get this money, you got to take a financial literacy course. Mm-hmm. The money already yours, but we have to teach you to not throw that shit away.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. So like, for us to have, if we had equality and if we had equity, you would never hear the race word come up. It wouldn't matter if we was black or white.
Right.
It'd be Stubb next to his neighbor. We had the same opportunities. We could did the same shit. We could have made the same choices. The system ain't hold us back. So ain't nobody screaming about how the system held me back.
Right.
Because ain't no system held me back.
Right.
If I made a bad choice, it was my choice. Mm-hmm. If I made a good choice, it was my choice.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? If my children made good choices, they had the same opportunity as your children if they made good choices. If they made bad choices, they had the same opportunities as your children if they made bad choices. Point. Black dude got arrested for, protesting and all of that shit.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
There's a lot of them, but just as an example, over $100,000 for his bond. Mm-hmm. White girl a day later, arrested for shoplifting, $20,000 bond. Mm-hmm. See, that's not equality and that's not equity.
No. $100,000 bond man is already out on bond for fucking gun charges.
But that's different.
How? You already out from doing some stupid shit.
But we talk.
Did some other stupid
that's
shit.
That's specific to who he is. What I'm talking about is same crime, same time.
Nah, that's not that, man. But nah. That's not true.
Not in that instance, maybe. But you don't believe that if me and you did the same thing?
No. It's not. We all know same crime, same time is what it's supposed to be.
Right.
That's not what it is or ever will be no time soon.
Break that down.
Ever.
Break that down.
Just because, man, that goes with the privilege of whatever your skin tone and color is or whatever your financial status is. That's what that is. Okay? I'm old. I'm little old Stubb. I shoplift. Have a bad history already. Mm-hmm. Okay? But it's just shoplifting. Didn't kill nobody, didn't threaten nobody. It's a fucking misdemeanor or whatever. Little Samantha Joe from goddamn uptown Charleston goes to Blessed Sacrament High School or whatever the hell it is they got down there, does the same goddamn thing. Okay? Same thing. Let's do it like this. Same thing, same store, same day.
Right.
Okay? The police coming. I'm going to get put in cuffs and get sat in the back of the police car.
Yeah.
They're calling her parents to come up there and get her.
Very true.
Not to be ever seen again.
Very true.
That's what that is.
But that level of discretion, I can understand. But when you say same day, same place, same crime, right? Mm-hmm. Granted, if I'm a 2-time felon, I don't believe I should be slapped on the wrist the way that a little girl who stole for the first time is dealt with.
Right, okay.
I'm just saying, if a white dude, black dude, do the same crime, both of them got no record, they should be dealt with the same way.
It's not going to happen.
I'm just saying equality and equity because that was the conversation.
I mean, we grew up in the... It's been the same.
How we grew up was wrong. So if we had equality and equity, then it wouldn't be no conversation about race. See what I'm saying? You wouldn't have the conversation about race. Mm-hmm. The conversation would then change to, oh boy, I've been out on bond for weapons charges. Mm-hmm. Okay, that changes the dynamic.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So listen, man. And then I'm not gonna have any empathy or nothing or whatever the fuck it is that you're supposed to have when somebody blah blah blah. Dog, You do some goddamn stupid shit. Then you're gonna hit social media and talk about it. Come on.
See, I don't know nothing about all that.
Man, the people out there know what the hell I'm talking
No,
about.
I know what you're saying. I didn't
listen,
dig that
don't
deep
do
into it.
nothing. Don't do nothing that's major.
Right.
All right? That's major, and it's a crime. Don't get on Facebook Live, Instagram, this, that, and the third, Twitch, Snapchat, this, that. Don't talk about what you do.
Right.
Y'all cats make it easy for the police to solve their cases.
So in other words, the nigga was wild out.
Wilding out.
Okay. Cool.
That bragger, that you know, that how the young kids say that. And listen, I'm against all lawlessness and criminal activity. So don't get it twisted. But there's reality here, man. But damn, I done lost my train of thought now.
He was talking about basically how they make it easy for the police
Yeah,
to capture.
they make it easy for the police to close their files, man.
Yeah, they
You know,
do.
You do too much talking.
Everything is the thumb thugging and they
Yeah.
explain everything or they
Clout
live and
chasing.
talk about everything. I was just coming from the perspective of hearing about it because I just went off a meme more so than even knowing what happened with the dude. Because I feel like, if y'all locking people up for protesting, and that's all it is. If one guy got locked up for protesting, one girl got locked up for protesting, whatever the case may be, whether black or white, whether male or female, protesting should have the same charge. It should have the same punishment. You know
They
what
both
I'm saying?
got charged with the same. They both got charged with the same thing: second degree violent burglary or something other like that. But
see, I didn't even know he had did burglary. Yeah. Which is another thing. So I apologize to the viewers for being misinformed.
If we take a chair and burst out a window and go into the establishment of which we just burst the window out of, that's burglary.
That's burglary.
Okay.
What I'm telling you, so that's why I said let me apologize to the viewers because what I was going off of was a meme. I wasn't going off the story. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. So the meme was obviously incorrect because they had him as just doing protesting. Getting arrested for protesting. Nah. You know what I'm saying? So, in that scenario, if you breaking the law, you deserve to be punished to the fullest extent. See, that's my whole thing. I don't believe that because you black that you innocent. I believe that black shouldn't be shouldn't condemn you. And I believe that it should be equality. Meaning like that it should be a situation where, okay, I shouldn't get denied in the bank when I come for a home loan. Right. If I qualify, I should be able to get the home loan.
You should be.
Regardless of if I'm black or white. I believe that if I come to a healthcare provider and I say that I'm sick, that they shouldn't be like, oh, black people can handle more pain, so they give me regular Tylenol. But then when you come in for the same shit, same symptoms,
you get goddamn
you get that power. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though that shit kind of backfired on a lot of y'all because, y'all kind of overused that shit. Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? I just believe that that shit should be equal and on equal footing, and that's the only thing that I look for. Like Bob Johnson was on the Breakfast Club, I believe, yesterday.
Bob Johnson, what, the founder of BET?
BET, yeah.
What the fuck he had to talk about?
He was on there talking about reparations because he said that black people should get $14 billion in reparations. However they want to break it down, whether it be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, whatever the case may be, that it should be $14 billion. And he said the reason why the way that he came across that number is if you look at the disparities between black and white. The white community is 14 billion up because of the fact that they went and fought wars. They came home. They was allowed to have the GI Bill. They was allowed to buy homes. And we know that home equity is the way that you build wealth and develop generational wealth. Black people were denied that. We were denied the GI Bill in a lot of cases. We was denied housing to be able to own houses. You know what I'm saying? In certain areas, banks disapproved us, even in the same situations as white people, which kind of took us away from being able to generate wealth. He was like, white people in this country and taxpayers in this country already pay reparations. They just pay it to poor people. It's called welfare. It's called healthcare welfare.
Mm-hmm.
It's called, like they'll give you some food stamps and they'll say, oh, here's $1,000 in food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
Here's $1,000 in healthcare, but they won't give you cash because cash is power.
Okay.
So his statement is, of course, when you give that $14 billion, some people gonna take that shit and put it right back into the white community.
Mm-hmm.
But that's their choice. Other people gonna take it and build equity within their family and create wealth within their family, which they would have probably done in the first place. See, if you're gonna be poor, you're gonna be poor, whether you white, whether you black.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna make money and have wealth, you're gonna do that regardless. The point is, it shouldn't be hard for one group and easy for another.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's I believe that. I don't know about the 14 billion or 14 trillion, whatever the number was. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm pretty sure you're a smart guy, so I'm pretty sure.
But see, this is why I didn't want to get in. I hear all that, and then my thing is, okay, so how are we going to attain? How are we going to attain that equality? Well, are we going to become socialists? Are we going to become a communist state?
They talked about that on the show, and the thing about it, I believe that Breakfast Club was asking the wrong questions. They ain't really get the opportunity to ask a lot because he talked a lot. Yeah. But I believe that.
Then that's Bob Johnson.
I believe that, and Charlamagne said before the beginning, like, yo, we expect to ask a lot of questions because he gonna talk. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it for me, where I feel like he was going is, these people have 14 billion over us. Mm-hmm. They didn't attain it because they worked hard for it. They attained it because we worked hard for free to give them that wealth. Yeah. See, the slave owners, the slave ship owners, all of them are the, oil owners, you know what I'm saying? Like the landowners, the farmers, all of these people that got all of this money from off the backs of black people who built this country. That's America. Mm-hmm. The same way with the Holocaust, the people came together, and it wasn't the Holocaust people who did the Holocaust who reached in their pocket like, all right, man, here, take these damn reparations real quick. It was the descendants of the people who paid reparations for the Holocaust. So in that same light, the descendants of the people, which would mean the descendants of America, have to pay for the sins of America.
That shit ain't happening.
So, with that understanding, to get back to politics, how do we stop police from killing black people? By punishing police
for killing black people.
Exactly. That's simple. Yeah. If you go to jail for life as a police officer for killing a black person, you start being like, hold up. Next person be like, I don't really want to go to jail for life. You know what I'm saying? For killing a black person. What's going on, sir?
But at this juncture, you're kind of seeing that now.
It's happening. So that's what I'm saying. Now, another level. 14 billion. Buying power. Why is it that white people can lobby goddamn politicians? Mm-hmm. Because they have the money to do so. Yeah. We were cut off from that wealth. Reparations puts us equal.
Okay.
Now we have the same wealth to lobby.
So was that like every black person in America gets $1 million or something?
I don't know what the equation would come down to. But
that's what I'm saying, man. How? Just all tax-paying black folk?
All descendants of slaves.
That's a lot of black people.
Yeah. But think about this.
But then, think about this. Then there's some that are descendants of people that had black, that weren't slaves or none of that shit.
Right. But that's why they say descendants of slaves, because a lot of people, when you come to the United States, you can trace back to who was a slave. You might not be able to trace back to Africa or any other country.
But you're saying you can trace back to...
You can trace back to slavery.
Yeah, because they got records.
Even if you were originally here and they just snatched you and said, get the fuck on my plantation.
Now, your name is
still set as my property. Mm. So they can prove who was a slave or a descendant.
And that's
of
where
slaves.
last names come from.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. Like they say, Thomas Jefferson never even gave up his slaves. You see what I'm saying?
No, right.
So when you look at it, America kept the records. We have an understanding of who's the descendants of slaves. You know what I'm saying? In the same way that we can send a $1,200 check to everybody. Because let's be real, my household is big. I got 6 people in my house. We ain't get 1,200. You know what I'm saying? So the same way you can just send a check out to every family that got, some people got 9 fucking kids.
Yeah.
Imagine what their check was. Yeah. There ain't been no 1,200.
No.
So you know what I'm saying? It definitely ain't been enough. You know what I'm saying? For being out of work, government mandated for 3 fucking months. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's what the unemployment was for. Motherfuckers was caked up off unemployment. They was getting extra money with the unemployment. You know what I'm saying? So the whole point is, it's obvious that you can give the money.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas was like $3 billion.
It's nothing. Yeah.
I'm gonna give 2.5 billion of that to the goddamn richest motherfuckers, and give the rest of y'all half of this Billy. You know what I'm saying? So if you can do that shit with the snap of your finger, it's clear that you can do reparations. Now, the reasons why you don't is clear also. Because with black people being empowered with money, black people can then empower themselves with money. See, you could talk about voting all you want to. And voting is the way. But without money, voting doesn't hold much power. See, I can go and vote and still lose with the electoral college. I can go and vote, but then the motherfucker get in office and don't do what I ask him to do. But if I got money, and I got my money working for me in Washington,
that's where the lobbyists and all that.
I got a cold motherfucker on the streets talking to them politicians.
And all a lobbyist is, hey man, come on man, listen.
Yeah.
Hey man, come on man. That's what a lobbyist is.
That's my cold motherfucker on the streets.
Cold motherfucker on the streets. Hey, look. And he send him a comment. Listen.
And he or she has a gift of
gab. And you're the senator. Yeah. Okay, I hear you. Yeah.
What?
Okay, let's try it. Okay.
First episode. She. Word. When you got you a motherfucker on the, hey, you just pay me this money and the golden faucet gonna turn on. Once that golden faucet turn on, you see what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Let's pass out some air conditioners.
Word.
Come on, shit like that.
But you see what I'm saying? So that's why I got what Bob Johnson was saying. If we got the money, of course, Black Wall Street wasn't a bunch of goddamn millionaires running around. Right. Black Wall Street was a group of people that got together, probably been no more than 5 or 6,
and was like, literally their own economy.
Let's create some dope shit, and they did it. And other motherfuckers came in and said, "Oh, I can have my little flower shop. Oh, I can have my little restaurant."
Spending American money, but it was their own economy,
and that motherfucker rotated so many times. If it ever went out. You see what I'm saying? And that was the beauty of it. That's the whole point with that whole shit. So when you look at it like that, and you gain understanding that, most motherfuckers gonna have Cadillacs and goddamn, go get bigger screen TVs than they already got and shit like that. But a lot of motherfuckers is gonna say, let's get this shit together. Look at motherfucking Jay-Z making the call to the mayor or the governor, like, yo, let me tell you this from my perspective.
But he that man was able to call the governor. It wasn't I'm pretty sure, hey, give me the governor of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay, in a minute, sir.
But not even the fact that I could call you. The fact that I told you some shit.
And you listen.
You listen and goddamn made moves. Now, I ain't saying it's all because of him, but I'm going to say that motherfucking shit helps. You got goddamn the NFL players now.
Not fuck them, but goddamn the commissioner of the NFL standing up saying, hey, goddamn, we got it wrong.
And why he doing that? Because the players finally came together and they did a little PSA saying, this is what we want the NFL to say.
They checked old Drew Brees. He thought about it. He was like, goddamn, you're all right. I'm sorry.
My bad. Because the thing about it is, if every month a motherfucker, if every month we brothers and my dad pull up and give me 10 grand and give you $1, I'm gonna look at you and be like, God damn, you know, I'm doing well. Why aren't you? I don't want that privilege to end.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I give you a hand out here, G. But I don't necessarily want him to come and give me 5 and give you 5.
That's right.
If I done been getting this privilege for hundreds of years. So it's kind of hard for a white person who might be middle class, or a white person who might had to pay for college, or they had a humble upbringing. It's hard for them to see their privilege. And then at the same time, for a rich white person, it's hard for them to see their privilege. Because they done basked in it their whole life.
Right.
But you ain't had a Ferrari. You didn't have gold toilets. The same way with black people.
I'm about to say, can't you say that for all?
Yeah.
For as it trickles down?
We done talked about it for several episodes on the show. Coming up, we ain't know we was poor if we was poor.
Right.
Our kids ain't know they was poor when they was poor.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know your circumstances until it's explained to you.
And then some people's poor is not as poor as the next man's poor.
Exactly.
So that's why I was saying it trickles down.
Yeah.
Because it's wild, man.
So when you think about all those nuances, you have to put it together, and you got to be able to say, okay, Drew, I get it.
Right.
You didn't, you was thinking, my grandfathers, they fought for the country, and you know what I'm saying? Goddamn brilliant idiots. I listened to that shit last night. And Andrew said his homeboy hit him, and his homeboy said, man, the first cool white man I ever met was your dad. He used to have sleepovers at his house, Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz.
All right.
So he said, he sent it to his mom. And his mom was like, oh, that's cool. And he said his mom said some shit that blew his mind. He said his mom was like, we had to leave home to be able to raise you the right way. That shit was deep as fuck. Because I seen the little clip, little white girl, and she's like, no, Mom, systematically, they're being harmed. And you hear the mother and the father in the background. No, everybody is treated that way. They got to pull themselves up. And she's like, Mom, you told me to turn off the news when I was just trying to be informed because I'm tired of hearing that shit. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sometimes you got to get the fuck away from these motherfuckers that's trying to teach you racism. Sometimes you got to get the fuck away from these people that's trying to teach you the wrong fucking thing. If your people trying to teach you to goddamn sell some dope, you might not want to hang around your people. Go find some other people to hang around. If your people trying to teach you, trying to tell, if you at a protest and a motherfucker saying, let's bust this window and set the police car on fire, yo, y'all be good, man. I'm going to go ahead and get the fuck on. Hey, let me out the car.
But of course, oh man, you a sucker, man. Don't be no pussy, man.
Fuck that. Because you the same sucker in jail.
Yeah.
You ain't shit to them in jail.
You sure ain't.
So fuck it. I ain't gonna be able to snitch on you because I ain't gonna have shit to do with that to begin with. I don't want shit to do with that.
So my name shouldn't be in nothing.
On the other hand, goddamn, if your people trying to raise you to be the next Dylan Roof, get the fuck away from them. They mean you no good. They trying to teach you some dinosaur shit. This what you do when you see the dinosaur. Nigga, dinosaurs ain't here.
Nope.
They trying to teach you some shit that should not have ever existed. Now is the time for you to be the change. Now is the time, I always see the little meme with the little black baby and the little white baby running towards each other. Now, I don't know if the motherfuckers really was running towards each other, but let's say they were, because I had white friends. We all done had coming up.
And then, okay, you know what? Why do everybody always say I have white friends, I have black friends? Well, I thought friends are supposed to be friends.
Exactly, but the problem is because of equality and equity, you
You
have
have
to
to
say the
specify?
race. Right.
Wow.
So that's my point. I've had friends of other races, and they've been the reason why we was friends is for the most part we was just as poor as each other.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, those are your peers.
Equality and equity, right?
Yes.
That's proof of it.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? You are my peer. We just as poor as each other. We live in the same neighborhood.
Brother, don't get it twisted now. This is my opinion. Elite white folks frown upon poorer, rural white folks just like Negroes.
If not worse.
If not worse.
Because they feel like they should have used their white to their
privilege. But, exactly. And the sad thing is, some of those still have spite against us.
Oh, it's
like,
designed that way.
You're not better than me, motherfucker.
It's designed that way.
That's crazy.
That's the Trump voter is that.
That's exactly what
it's the white person that's poorer than black people that's mad that black people have more than them. And the white rich people said it's black people's fault.
Yeah.
It
ain't my fault.
It's Mexicans' fault.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's exactly the point. That's where equality and equity comes.
Mexicans don't. Some of them, some Latinos or whatever, don't deal with black folks because they were raised to have lighter skin and white representation.
They was raised in a system of white supremacy.
Yes. So that's why, it's not like, yes, they can be racist and all that and this, that, and the third, but that's how some Latinos, like in South America and, where, those Europeans took over their country, that's what we were always lower class in certain areas.
The Catholic Church gave permission to classify people so that some people could be classified as servants and slaves.
Right.
When they classified people, they created a system of white supremacy, meaning the whiter your skin, the better you are.
Right.
The darker your skin, the worse you are.
Come on, man.
Which is why black people with lighter skin typically have some form of racism towards black people with darker skin. So that's why the people yell and go to Africa don't make no sense because you can't escape white supremacy. Right. You see what I'm saying? So the point is you have to dismantle the system of white supremacy. So we just admitted when we was younger, we knew white kids. We had white friends. We didn't consider them white friends. We considered them friends.
Right.
Why? Because we had equality and equity.
Right.
See what I'm saying? We was on an even playing field.
Yeah.
As we got older, that white kid was allowed to go and have more opportunities. The corner store hired them, which allowed them to work and save money and get a car.
Right.
Which allowed them to work and save money and go to school. Which allowed them to work and save money and buy a house. Which allowed them to work and save money and use the equity of their house to start their own business. Yeah. Which allowed them to start having wealth. Which allowed them to have something to pass down. Meanwhile, we weren't allowed to actually have that job at that store. Some work. So let me put it on a general basis for black people. Most black people weren't given the opportunity to work in that little store. Right. So we didn't have the opportunity to save up no money.
But we knew one.
Right.
It was always one.
So we didn't have the opportunity to save up that little money and get a car. We didn't have that opportunity. And the importance of the car, people, is to be able to get around. Right. You ain't never seen the other. You ain't never seen the other side of town if you ain't had a car.
That's right.
If the bus didn't go there, you never seen it. So you didn't know to dream about it and attain it. Because the white kid had the car, they could drive over and see how the rich people live, and they could have something in their mind to want to attain, which would make them want to leave the block they was on and want to actually build wealth and build for their family. And next thing you know, you see this guy and he in a suit, and you'd be like, "Yo, Jonathan." Yeah. And he like, "Oh man, Star, what's up, man?" Yeah. And y'all dap up, and then you like, "Yeah, man, I got my company and we doing this and we doing that. What you doing though?" "Oh man, I work down here at such and such." You see what I'm saying? Like equality and equity. You're still allowed to make the choices that you want to make. But the system isn't stopping you from making any choices.
Hey, but you know what? Excuse me. Hopefully Jonathan cool enough to be like, "You know what, man? Fuck that. Rock with me."
Hopefully. But the point about that is,
let me show you how to get this.
The point about that is, had y'all started at the same place, which you did,
you'd be equal.
and had the same
opportunities,
right?
And yeah,
the same opportunities.
Y'all both be at the
y'all
same
both
spot.
be sitting at the table on the golf course talking about y'all business.
Right.
Man, you know we did 60,000 last week, man. Oh, we did 80,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna get you next week, man. Next week I'm gonna beat that 80. And
but I know, but you know what? I know plenty brothers that have made it that way.
I know plenty successful black men.
Yes.
Plenty.
Now, well, damn. Why would? Because everybody don't follow the same path.
Right. But now,
you know, some of us, like myself, squalor or fuck up their opportunity.
Yeah.
When they have that chance.
Because you have the right to.
But the sad thing is, you have to work twice, thrice, more harder just to get that shot. And to mess it up, fuck it off, that's what stings more than anything. That's why, you know, your parents or the people that love you the most and know that you can. That's why it disappoints them so much.
Yeah.
You work so hard to get to certain thing and you just fucked it up.
Yeah. And at the same time, a parent want to be able to say, son, you can be anything you want to be.
You can.
And actually be telling you the truth.
And then, don't take it as, just because you fuck something up, don't take it as a death sentence. You can come back from everything.
A fuck up is nothing but a lesson if you're willing to learn it.
Yeah, now if you learn that lesson and leave it alone and keep it moving forward, like you got to be the type of person that learns from that mistake that first time. Now, when you start doing the same stupid shit 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a goddamn row, then that means you're just fucking dumb. And you deserve to get what you're going to get.
And you can still make that comeback, depending on what your mistakes is.
Ah, man, well, goddamn.
Oh, it's hard. It's hard. But you can still
You only got so much life.
It's like, you know, like, look, some people going to be able to goddamn work one job. Mm-hmm. They're going to do things the right way. Mm-hmm. They're going to graduate to another position. They might even be in the same company and eventually grow, if that still exists.
Right.
To the point where they're making plenty of money and they're successful. Right?
Right. Some
people going to go from job to job to job to job, constantly starting over, constantly getting fired, constantly getting let go. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to build character. Like a lot of stories we hear, like, for example, like Charlamagne said, I've been fired 4 times from radio.
Right.
He was like, I ain't went to college. I don't, you know what I'm saying, I had no college education. I don't know how to be no broadcaster. You know what I'm saying? Even Rush Limbaugh, when they had him on the show, he said he got fired like 6 to 9 times. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he white. Maybe he got the white, well, he does have that white privilege. But the whole point is when you listen to these stories, you hear a lot of adversity. Mm-hmm. Like you don't usually hear like just somebody that's super successful that just say, all right, man, I just woke up one day, decided I was going to do this, and I was successful. Even with Amazon, they show the damn garage he started out of. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the point is, like, is it going to be hard for you to recover? Yeah. But can you recover? Hell yeah. Y'all looking at stub faces because it's raining. Sound like it's raining on.
That's what that's what's running around up there.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like calling no goddamn man to come catch a critter.
I feel you. But yeah, man, like that's what it is, man. It comes down to equality and it comes down to equity. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot going on out there, but I'm proud to see most of the shit that I'm seeing out there. I'm proud to see black people, white people marching together. I'm proud to see white people standing up for the cause. I'm proud to see white people standing up against racism, because I know it's hard to stand up for something that gives you an advantage. But I promise you, you know what I'm saying? You feel so much better to have equal playing field and everybody be equal. And for the racist people that's tired of hearing about racism, get rid of it. You never have to hear about that motherfucker again.
I swear.
I promise you, I'll never talk about it again if you get rid of it. It's Big Black and Unsuccessful, people. Next time.
Peace.